The year is 2024. Deja vu washes over Washington. Donald J. Trump, once again, is the storm. His return to the White House, a victory he claims was the biggest, most beautiful win ever, has unleashed a torrent of chaos and controversy. Trump, never one for subtlety, has plunged the nation into a constitutional crisis before his inauguration. His weapon of choice, a series of cabinet appointments so outlandish, so provocative, they've left even seasoned political observers speechless. This isn't just about policy disagreements, it's about the very foundation of American democracy. Trump, with his characteristic disregard for norms and traditions, is attempting to dismantle the system from within. His targets are the institutions, the norms, the very guardrails of American governance. The question now is, will he succeed? The names on Trump's shortlist for cabinet positions read like a who's who of controversy. Each selection seems to be a calculated move, designed to stir the pot and challenge the status quo. Matt Gaetz, the firebrand congressman with a penchant for inflammatory rhetoric and a cloud of legal troubles, is the pick for Attorney General. Gaetz, known for his staunch defense of Trump during impeachment proceedings and his vocal support for far-right causes, brings a polarizing presence to the Justice Department. His legal troubles, including an ongoing investigation into alleged sex trafficking, only add to the controversy surrounding his appointment. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a notorious vaccine skeptic with no medical background, is slated for Health and Human Services. Kennedy, a prominent figure in the anti-vaccine movement, has been widely criticized by the medical community for spreading misinformation. His appointment raises serious concerns about the future of public health policy, especially in the wake of a global pandemic that has claimed millions of lives. Critics argue that his views could undermine efforts to promote vaccination and other essential health measures. And for Secretary of Defense, none other than Pete Hegseth, the weekend TV personality known more for his far-right views and a controversial tattoo than any military expertise. Hegseth, a former Army National Guard officer, has been a vocal supporter of Trump's policies and has often appeared on Fox News to defend the administration. However, his lack of high-level military experience and his controversial statements on various issues have raised eyebrows among defense experts. These aren't just unconventional choices, they're deliberate provocations. Each appointment seems designed to challenge the norms and disrupt the traditional functioning of their respective departments. It's a bold strategy that reflects Trump's combative approach to governance. Each name is a grenade lobbed into the heart of the establishment. The potential for conflict and upheaval is immense, as these figures are likely to clash with career officials and established norms. The ripple effects of these appointments could be felt across the entire government. Trump, it seems, is more interested in dismantling the system than running it. His choices reflect a desire to shake up the status quo and challenge the entrenched power structures in Washington. It's a strategy that appeals to his base, who see him as a disruptor and a champion of their grievances. He's assembling a team not to govern, but to disrupt. The appointments are a clear signal that Trump intends to continue his combative approach to politics, even as he faces significant opposition from both within and outside his party. The implications for the future of American governance are profound, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. The full impact of these appointments will only become clear over time as these controversial figures take on their new roles and begin to implement their agendas. The coming months promise to be a period of intense political drama and uncertainty. Trump's power play extends beyond the outrageousness of his nominees. His choices have already sparked controversy, but his latest move is even more audacious. He's demanding the Senate, still reeling from the election, to recess immediately. This demand comes at a time when the nation is still grappling with the aftermath of a highly contentious election, leaving the Senate in a state of disarray. This unprecedented move would allow him to bypass Senate confirmation for his cabinet picks. By forcing a recess, Trump aims to install his nominees without the usual scrutiny and debate that the Senate confirmation process entails. These recess appointments would give his choices power until December 2026, potentially longer than some cabinet members serve in a traditional Trump administration. This means that his appointees could wield significant influence over key areas of government policy for an extended period. This is where the situation veers from concerning to dangerous. The implications of such a move are profound, as it undermines the checks and balances that are fundamental to the American political system. The Senate's role in confirming presidential appointments is a cornerstone of American democracy. This process ensures that nominees are thoroughly vetted and that their qualifications and suitability for the role are rigorously examined. It's a crucial check on executive power, a safeguard against tyranny. Without this check, the balance of power could tip dangerously in favor of the executive branch, eroding the democratic principles upon which the nation was founded. By circumventing this process, Trump is attempting to consolidate power, to rule by fiat. This move is not just about filling cabinet positions, it's about reshaping the government to fit his vision, without the input or consent of the legislative branch. The question is, will the Senate, a body often accused of being too slow, too deliberative, find the spine to stand up to Trump's brazen power grab? The Senate's response to this challenge will be a defining moment in American politics. Will they uphold their constitutional duty, or will they capitulate to the executive's demands? The stakes have never been higher, and the eyes of the nation are watching closely. History has shown that the Senate can be a formidable check on executive overreach. From the Watergate scandal to the Iran-Contra affair, there have been moments when the Senate has risen to the occasion, defending the principles of democracy and the rule of law. The current situation is a test of the Senate's resolve and its commitment to the Constitution. The actions taken in the coming days will not only shape the immediate future, but will also set a precedent for how executive power is checked in the years to come. As the Senate prepares to respond, the nation waits with bated breath. The outcome of this power struggle will reverberate through the halls of government and beyond, influencing the course of American democracy for generations. To understand Trump's motivations, one must delve into the psyche of a man who sees himself as an outsider, a warrior battling a corrupt establishment. Trump, a man who thrives on chaos and division, believes he's waging war on the deep state, a shadowy cabal of bureaucrats and career politicians he claims are working to undermine him. His cabinet appointments, in his mind, are not merely political appointments. They are acts of war. He's installing loyalists, firebrands, and, yes, even fringe figures, into positions of power to dismantle the system from within. The deep state in Trump's worldview is not a conspiracy theory. It's a reality, a threat to his power and his vision for America. And he's willing to burn the house down to defeat it. Section 5, a mandate or a mirage. Trump's supporters will point to his election victory as a mandate for his radical agenda. After all, he did win the popular vote this time, a first for him. But a closer look at the numbers reveals a far more tenuous grasp on power. His popular vote victory was razor-thin, one of the smallest margins in American history. His electoral college win, while larger than his 2016 victory, still reflects a deeply divided nation. Republicans did retake the Senate, but their majority is slim. The House remains a battleground, with Democrats clinging to a narrow majority. This is not the resounding mandate Trump claims it to be. It is a deeply divided nation, teetering on a knife edge. Section 6, the GOP party of Trump. The Republican Party, once the party of Lincoln, of Reagan, now finds itself in the iron grip of Donald Trump. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It was a gradual shift, a slow but steady takeover that has redefined the very essence of the GOP. His hold on the GOP base is absolute. From the moment he descended the escalator at Trump Tower to announce his candidacy, he tapped into a vein of discontent and frustration that resonated deeply with a significant portion of the American electorate. His message, though often controversial, struck a chord that traditional Republican leaders had failed to reach. His endorsements can make or break political careers. Candidates vie for his approval, knowing that a nod from Trump can mean the difference between victory and defeat. This power dynamic has shifted the focus of many Republican politicians, who now prioritize aligning with Trump's views over traditional conservative principles. His pronouncements are treated as gospel by his followers. Whether it's a tweet, a rally speech, or an offhand comment, his words carry immense weight. This unwavering loyalty has created an environment where dissent is not just discouraged, but actively punished. This unwavering support from the base has given Trump an unprecedented level of control over the Republican Party. His influence extends beyond policy and into the very identity of the party itself. The GOP is no longer just a political organization. It has become a movement centered around a single individual. He has effectively silenced any dissent within the ranks. Those who once spoke out against him have either fallen in line or faced the consequences. The fear of being labeled a traitor or a rhino Republican in name only has kept many in check. Those who dare to criticize him, to question his pronouncements, are swiftly ostracized, branded as Reno's Republicans in name only. This has created a chilling effect, stifling debate and discouraging any form of opposition within the party. This stranglehold on the GOP has profound implications for the future of American politics. It raises questions about the direction of the party and its ability to adapt to changing political landscapes. The focus on loyalty to Trump over policy and governance could have long-term consequences for the party's viability and its role in the American political system. It has transformed the Republican Party from a party of ideas into a personality cult, more concerned with loyalty to Trump than with governing. This shift has not only altered the internal dynamics of the GOP, but has also impacted the broader political discourse in the United States. The emphasis on personality over policy has led to a more polarized and contentious political environment where compromise and collaboration are increasingly rare. Section 7. Echoes of history. History, they say, doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes, and the current situation in Washington carries with it echoes of past crises, of moments when the very soul of American democracy was tested. The parallels to Nixon's imperial presidency to McCarthy's Red Scare are impossible to ignore. Like Nixon, Trump seems to view himself as above the law, unconstrained by the norms and conventions that have governed previous presidents. Like McCarthy, he thrives on fear and division, painting his opponents as enemies of the state. These historical comparisons are not meant to be alarmist. They are a stark reminder of the fragility of democracy, of the ever-present danger of authoritarianism. Section 8. The Constitution bent, not broken. The American system of government, with its checks and balances, its separation of powers, was designed to withstand the ambitions of power-hungry men. It's a testament to the wisdom of the Founding Fathers that this system has endured for over 2 centuries, but the system is not infallible. It relies on norms, on traditions, on a shared understanding of the rules of the game. Trump's actions, his disregard for norms and his willingness to exploit loopholes are putting immense strain on the system. He is bending the Constitution, testing its limits, pushing it to the brink. The question is, will it break? Section 9. A republic on the edge. America finds itself at a crossroads. The path ahead is uncertain, fraught with peril. The very foundations of American democracy, the institutions that have long been taken for granted, are under assault. The guardrails are weakening, the center is not holding. This is not hyperbole. This is the reality of Trump's America. A nation divided, a system in crisis, a republic on the edge. The stakes have never been higher. The future of American democracy hangs in the balance.